Toastmasters, and guests. Today, I'd like to ask you a question. Do you believe in angels? Good. Not necessarily I am referring to the angels with big wings, but I am referring to that entities or beings who come to our help when we are in a need for some hand to go through tough situations. Almost 5 years ago, my dad had a stroke, and I took the first flight to Mexico. I wanted to go in Guadalajara and be with my parents, especially to be at the hospital with my dad. He was admitted to the hospital in a shared room with other 2 patients. The room was in the corner, just in front of the nurse station, with 2 big, long hallways just in front of it. During the first week there, I learned the routine at the hospital. Who the nurses were, the personnel that were working there, when the shifts changed from one to the other, and what the activities at the hospital, who was doing what kind of activities. One day, especially one day, was busy, hectic there. 2 nurses were missing. It was in the middle of July, at the end, almost at the end of July. The weather was very hot the whole night, and even the morning when the sun was rising, even with the curtains closed, it was feeling the warmth inside the room. My dad was very uncomfortable there. The bed was feeling like a hot tub. So I really needed help. I was desperate. I was feeling panic. And I was looking for help. Just couldn't find anybody in the nurse station. Everybody was busy, running from one room to the other, attending other patients with more critical condition. At that time, I had no experience whatsoever changing or helping change others. I didn't have kids myself. So the latest experience that I had was with my nephew, 30 years before, when I helped changing a baby of 3 months old. It was not the same. I really needed help. The nurse in the next door, she just told me, I'll be there after 2 more patients I need to see. Okay, I had to wait. All of a sudden, a nurse came into the room. I was asking, can you help me with my dad? She said, yes, that's why I'm here. And not just that, I'm going to show you how to do things. Immediately after, she brought all the stuff she needed, and she was asking me to do this, do that, hold him in this way. In 5 minutes, he was changed, clean, comfortable again. I felt so relieved, happy, grateful for that nurse. She appears like water in the middle of the desert for me. At that time, I didn't notice if she went and helped the other 2 patients that were in the same room. I just didn't see her anymore, and I was just paying attention to my dad. Around 40 minutes later, finally, the nurse who was in charge of the room came, and she said, I'm here to change your dad. I was absolutely amazed at that moment. I said, my dad was changed already. Another nurse came. She said, what are you talking about? What other nurse? By the way, what I could notice is that the attire of the previous nurse was different. The uniforms that I have seen in all the nurses was white with a little blue. But the nurse who helped us, she was wearing a robe with a multicolored little circles. that is what I remember when she asked. She said, well, the nurse who came before you, I thought you sent her. She said, no, we are short in personnel today. So how was she? I don't recall her name, but I remember the role, the uniform was different, and I described the uniform to her. She just smiled, went outside the room, make a sign to another nurse in the station, and she said, hey, our friendly ghost made an appearance today here. Fellow Toastmasters, do you believe in angels? Because I do. Thank you.
I have goosebumps. I'm speechless.